Blue Oyster Cult crept back into the spotlight this summer when someone set a Disney World reopening video to "Don't Fear the Reaper." A big hit for the band in 1976, the song written and sung by lead guitarist Donald "Buck Dharma" Roeser has remained popular ever since, inspiring Stephen King's novel The Stand, playing during the classic horror film Halloween and then hilariously parodied in the Saturday Night Live comedy sketch More Cowbell. Now, Blue Oyster Cult returns with their first album in nearly 2 decades. The Simple Remains comes out Friday on Frontiers Records. Its original Bach members Roeser, lead guitar, vocals, and Eric Bloom, vocals, guitar, keyboards, joined by Richie Castellano, keyboards, guitar, vocals, Danny Miranda, bass guitar, vocals, and Jules Radino, drums, percussion. In addition to being the band's first LP release in about 20 years, it's Blue Oyster Cult's first since the death of co-founding member Sandy Pearlman. The album's cover art depicts the Bach logo smashing what appears to be an ancient Greek temple, and the title of the 14-track collection is lifted from a lyric Pearlman penned for the Shadow of California track included on the band's 1983 album Revolution by Night. We wanted to honor San's memory and also make the point that the symbol, being the band's logo, was still here, and we're still forceful, Roeser says. And Frontiers Records liked the idea of that cover because we're not only remaining, we're still crushing it, crushing Parthenons and stuff like that. Roeser, 72, recently talked to the Herald Tribune, part of the USA Today network, by phone from his home in Maryland. Here's what he had to say about songs he co-wrote for the new album, returning to the road in 2021, and the use of his classic, Don't Fear the Reaper. Question: was it difficult getting the album completed during the pandemic? Donald "Buck Dharma" Roeser: we got the basic tracks done before the COVID hit, and then vocals and guitars and whatever other sweetening we put on keyboards and stuff like that, we were able to do at our home studios, and we did video conferencing to look over the shoulder of each other so there would be some collaboration. It worked out. Luckily, we had the tools because probably 4 or 5 years ago they wouldn't have been available. Had the coronavirus come at that time, we would have been out of luck. Q. What was it like working with lyricist John Shirley on the album's catchy new single Box in My Head? Roeser: Hess very prolific and he sends us a lot of stuff, and when I saw that I really liked the story. The story of the complicated man with the mind that's got so many levels, and the whole Russian doll metaphor. But I thought the way to sell this lyric, to make it come alive, was to write like power pop kind of music for it. So that's what I did. Q. The new track Nightmare Epiphany has a cinematic quality to it, both with the storytelling and overall sound, that reminds me of the song you also wrote, Then Came the Last Days of May. Is that something you were going for? Roeser: I think we sort of shoot for that. We like to tell stories, and I think the Nightmare Epiphany story is great. It's like 2 high school kids and they're not really in the same circle, but they have this dream they share, and to make that story come alive was my goal with that one. It's got a lot of great guitar playing on it too. We recorded that jamming on the basic track, that's all as it went down as we recorded, and I decided to keep it rather than fading it out, just play it right to the end. Q. Train True, Lenny's song, is a hard-rocking, country romp unlike anything I've heard on a Buck album. How did that song come about? Roeser: yeah, that was written by my son Zeke. He and I collaborated on that. It's a song that has been ruminating in his head since he went to college and has like 40 years old now. It's the story of the imagined inner life of a train conductor. The story on that is really cool, and I invite people to check that out when the record comes out. It was a father and son thing. It was a lot of fun. Q. Only someone who has lived in Florida could write a song like your new one, Florida Man, right? Roeser: yeah, I was up in Newport Richey for that whole time, and of course you know the Florida Man, but so does everybody else. The whole country is onto Florida Man. The idea of that song is that Terry's the reason why the Florida Man exists. It's the Seminole curse from back in the conquistador days. John Shirley and I wrote that together, and I basically commissioned him to write the song, Laughs, with the concept that we laid out. Q. What are the plans for the band returning to the road? Roeser: well, just about all the cancelled shows from this year have just been moved a year ahead, so 2021, the Germling, we'll go out and do all the stuff we were supposed to do this year. I think we're getting to the end of the COVID. I don't think it's just going to be a bogeyman forever. It's going to go away. Q. What did you think of the Disney reopening video being set to Don't Fear the Reaper? Roeser: it's kind of comical, laughs, but I think anytime someone uses Don't Fear The Reaper it's good, whether it's more cowbell or making fun of Disney. More, interview, Buck Dharma on writing Blue Oyster Cult's biggest hits. More, ticket editor, Thunder by the Bay rocked. The Ranch. Wade Tatangelo is the Herald Tribune's entertainment editor. Email him at wade.tatangelo@heraldtribune.com.